right, we're live. Welcome all, Rufus Nation, to the inaugural podcast. What are we calling it?
The TBZNMA Wonderful Podcast Show.
You heard him, the TBZNMAW Wonderful Podcast Show. And today we watched the first 3 episodes of Gosick, and we're basically just going to have a conversation about it, because that's kind of the gist of what podcasts are. Do you have anything else to add before we get started?
I mean,
Embark on this
you
wondrous
basically
journey?
said exactly what I was thinking.
All
Gosick.
right. Gosick. All right. Okay. I'll be up front. I'll be frank. I really like it. How do you feel? Just like general one word, super simplified, no nuance. How do you feel?
I mean, like, as of now, I've only seen the first 3 episodes, and I'm already hooked.
Are you serious right now? Because I am.
I'm serious. The show, started off real fast.
Oh yeah, I was
happy.
Happy.
First half of the episode, I was kind of getting annoyed. Like, what's with all this exposition, and why is it going on so fast? Like, the protagonist backstory was kind of really, not kind of, it's actually really vague, I feel like.
Really cliche, at least.
Yeah, a bit cliche.
He has to be like a good Japanese man and carry after a white woman. Yeah.
Of course.
So,
but
okay.
Then it picks up, obviously.
When he gets to the big-ass library.
There is a big-ass library. He does venture in a big-ass library.
It's not that
then
bad.
We meet the babe.
Yes, that's what I would refer to it as. Victorique.
Victorique. Is that just it?
What do you mean? Is that just it? For episode 1?
Yeah. Do we know her real name?
Well, no. All we know about her is that she's referred to as Victorique, and we meet her older brother with the keck hair. We meet her older brother. What's his name? Givel?
Givel? I don't know. I remember he looks a lot like Swordbert from Pokemon Sword and Shield. Editor, put a picture of Swordbert on the screen real quick.
All right, we're gonna get a picture of Swordbert on there for you.
Thank you.
Okay, but yeah, I remember distinctly that the first episode starts with the actual whatever they called the augury of the fortune teller lady, like
from the
and it started super fast with like this fucking rabid dog running at the camera, and I was like, I'm getting hyped for this. And then it sort of transitioned into the OP, and the OP is the most mid part about the show so far, in my opinion.
Really? You don't like the OP?
I don't care for it. I mean, it's just it doesn't stick out to me. I think it's one of the Monogatari OP singers, though. I do.
It does. I do. I could just sound like that. I think the OP was pretty. I think it was fine.
I don't find it objectionable.
There's one part I actually really liked where he was carrying her, and then reveals a big bad villain, and then it cuts back to him, and
he's holding clothes. Yeah,
he's holding just clothes, and then the villain's carrying her. I think that was actually really cool.
Okay, yeah. You know what? I don't mind that. I don't.
Might show some maybe this is the final evil villain. Maybe this guy has some past, some fears that we don't know about, all revealed in the OP.
Yeah, maybe it'll come back. It'll be one of those OPs that's like incredibly foretelling and is like insane when you watch it back. Yeah, I could see that.
Now that you know everything coming back.
That being said, I was kind of surprised by this. I had almost no knowledge of the show going into it. I thought it was going to be like a pretty dedicated mystery show, and obviously it is, but it seems like a romance series at heart. I was slightly caught off guard by that. I knew there'd be elements, but
yeah. I mean, the genre tags on AniWave stated as a drama, mystery, romance, military.
Oh, it's getting real. Military?
Military, yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Maybe that information can be used for later. I think, for one thing, I learned a new word from this show. Quibbling.
Quibbling.
Never knew that was a word.
That was a word.
And if I may interject to quibble for a second. Her brother's hair looks like a penis, and I think that's intentional. I think that's intentional.
Editor,
it fits his personality.
A picture of Swordbert's hair, and does this look like a penis viewer?
It's clearly phallic. Yeah, it's clearly phallic, and it fits his personality. He takes all the credit for his little sister's genius, and she doesn't really seem to care. right? She's it's revealed that she's a okay. We got something. We might be hearing these
Yeah,
Discord
this is
notifications.
this for our sake, just so we know we're talking about. That is Swordbird. This is who I'm referring to.
All right,
Guy
so
on the left of the picture.
all right, so we're talking about Swordbird here. Yeah, I mean
But
he's obviously the character. The one thing I did like about Swordbird is the one scene. This is like a super like small detail. I don't know why I clung on to it so much, but you know the scene where the main guy Cujo is calling him out, and then he's like, shut the fuck up, and he like drags him back into like the room and closes the door so the cops can't hear. I liked
yeah,
how like funny and exaggerated that animation was. I was really happy to see that this isn't too gritty because I feel like a lot of times with its
yeah.
like gothic Lolita aesthetic, I'm not used to seeing it be so cartoonish.
I mean, yeah. I
I
mean, we
appreciate it.
got studio here from Bones,
Bones, yeah,
produced by what was that, Katakawa.
yes, yes.
So that same producer, same studio that made Ungo. Any viewers
Oh,
out here are familiar with that?
famous series. I'm actually gonna have to watch Ungo after this if this goes well enough.
I
Um,
highly do. I really highly recommend it.
yeah, yeah, to all you Rufuses out there watching as well, definitely give Ungo a shot.
I think it's a Rufai, but
All right, Rufi,
whatever.
whatever. We're still ironing out the kinks. This is the inaugural episode of the TBZNMAW Amazing podcast or whatever it was called.
Yeah,
Um,
but let's dive into the first mystery, shall we?
okay. Okay. The first mystery was, if I may say, a little bit hilarious. In my opinion.
Yeah,
Like the one thing I really like about this show is that I feel like the mysteries are very solvable and they can make me feel like a smart boy, you know?
yeah.
Like
I mean,
they're very solvable.
I
Very.
mean, the first one, I feel like it was supposed to be like a little test run to show
Yeah.
how smart she was,
Yeah, yeah.
and I think that worked out well.
Yeah. Though if somebody just shot into a room that they knew there might be a person in, I feel like people would be
Yeah,
like, maybe you shot her. I don't know, maybe you
like I
shot.
immediately thought I like hate to toot my own horn and say I'm the smartest person ever, but like the second I said like, oh, she pulled the gun and shot through the door hole, like yeah, that's kind of sus, eh?
Yeah, well, I mean, not to be the smartest person, but I also thought that immediately as well, and I also predicted all the other murders. But yeah, no, I get that. I get that. You know, we're all operating at our own pace. You know, some of us are Victorique and some of us are Cujo.
I get it. Yeah, I personally feel like I'm more of a Cujo.
Yeah. Also, do you think there's any significance to that name,
What?
Cujo the
I
dog,
don't
the Stephen
know.
King dog? I think it's
Oh,
possible.
maybe.
I just don't know enough about Stephen King or Cujo or any of that. Oh yeah, really weird detail. Like the least explained thing so far. The thing that I'm the most sort of in the dark about is the weird like superstitious rumors going around the school, and everybody calls him the Death Reaper.
Oh yeah, that actually flew over my head. Now thinking about it, yeah, that
Yeah,
is a. Don't
he's
really
like
know what that's for.
so
It's
he
the
like
Black Reaper, I
the
think.
Black Reaper, yeah, and he brings
Yeah,
like ill will to the like he's a bit of his arrival indicates the arrival of like bad luck or like bad shit happening soon after. So we'll
yeah.
see what that
I mean
entails.
the after the ending credits of our third episode, which is what we're both up to, did look like we'd be seeing a couple more school action. So
Oh yeah.
maybe we'll learn a bit more about the Black Reaper there.
And the overly bubbly teachers that are just concerningly bubbly, both of them,
That are
or both of
the
the
classic
administrators.
Bones staple. I feel like.
Is that? I'm not too
I
familiar with Bone stuff.
I feel like it is. What Bones made? Bungo Stray Dogs.
Yeah,
My
that show has girls in
Hero.
it.
Does it?
Does Bungo Stray Dogs have any female characters?
I think. Yeah, the little sister who's in love with the brother.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Is she overly bubbly though?
She's
Okay.
kind of
Yeah,
bubbly.
she's a
Well,
little
I'm
bubbly.
not speaking like strictly female.
She's not
bubbly
boiling.
teachers.
Yeah, I get that. Okay. She's like starting to simmer a little bit, but she's not quite. She's not bubbling yet. She's not boiling over. What was I gonna say about
What
that?
else? Bones made Ungo. There's bubbly female characters in Ungo.
Are you sure they're female?
Editor, throw up a picture of what he's talking about.
Pull up a picture of the deceptively male protagonist of Ungo.
Inga
His
is
name's
their
Inga?
name. Yes.
Their name. Sorry. Yeah, that's my bad, guy. Editor. We'll fix it in post. We'll fix it in post. Okay, let's talk about the real. Let's just before we get on to like the plot of episode 2 and like before we get out of the test run area and into the real meat and potatoes, let's just talk about why we're all here. And that's the design of the girl, in my opinion. That's why I'm here. Not in a weird way. You know what I mean?
That's why we're here. Well,
Okay, buddy. All right. I just think it's a cool design. I'm not being weird about it.
Editor, help a picture.
We'll fix it in post.
This is why we're here.
This is not why we're here. Fine, whatever. This isn't why we're here.
It's kind of concerning.
It's a good design. It's a good design. I'm not saying. Oh my god, bro.
I agree with you. It's a good design. It's a cute design.
It is a cute design.
It can be funny at times.
Yes, it's a cute design. It can be funny at times. You are correct. And the laugh is hilarious. The laugh is amazing. But I think
Editor, skip to episode 2, 6 minutes in. That's from the first time we hear her laugh.
Is that actually accurate?
Yes, 6 minutes and 3 seconds to be exact.
I gotta say, like a bit trashy. Some may say to do it only a few minutes into our first draft, but I think we're killing this podcast thing, and we're only gonna get better.
Well, yeah,
this is very professional.
It can only go up.
Yeah.
Speaking about getting better, Rufus, did you watch this in sub or dub?
Oh, I watched it in sub. I didn't even know that there was a dub.
I watched the first episode in sub and the second the next 2 in dub.
Wait, what does her laugh sound like in dub?
Well, what did her laugh sound like in sub?
Ho 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 ho. Ho 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 ho. Like that.
Bear with me, viewer. Okay, they sound exactly alike.
Ho ho ho. Okay. Well, it's perfect either way. I like that. Also, her other like moe mannerism is rolling around on the floor a bunch, which is
that's
funny.
A moe staple.
That's a moe staple, but it also makes her look more like a doll. Just a little detail out there for the roof eye.
Yeah.
And I mean, she's just like the epitome of that sort of aesthetic, in the sense of like I might be alone on this one, but when I see what I think looks cool about like Gothic aesthetics and stuff like that is that there's so much detail put into the stuff. Sometimes the architecture, but usually the clothing. That like seeing somebody that just massive, super detailed cluster of clothing. I don't know. It makes them feel like really important. You know, like it makes them feel really important, fragile, and valuable. And that's sort of reflected in her basic personality traits and like context in the story. You know.
Yeah.
I think it works very well. I like that.
And aside from her design, I do like how, hell, even in the first 3 episodes, we've already gotten a lot of detail about even her personality.
Yeah,
I came in like the first episode thinking that she'd be some stupid uptight brat, like not afraid of anything.
She'd take way too long to start coming around to human emotion. Yeah,
and really not the sharpest tool to shed when it comes to other people.
Yeah, because she's like definitely autism coded.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. But like, have we seen like was it second or third episode?
Third episode where she reverse engineers.
She gets her. She's shaking in her britches.
Oh yeah. She's shaking in her britches. But
that.
Wasn't that revealed to all to at least partially be a ruse? No, I mean she said it was a ruse, but we all know the way they framed it. Clearly she was playing it out. It was like 50-50.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I
definitely feel like she was shaking out of her britches.
She was definitely shaking out of her britches. She wasn't comfortable, we'll say that. What I thought you were going to bring up is because we were on the topic of her not being able to understand people. I thought you were going to bring up the crazy 4D observation she makes about that lady, about that lady's pacing habits and how she really were rich and she was born in a mansion.
I was going to get to that later when we were talking about like the discrepancies and stuff that I actually didn't like about the show, but we can talk about that as well. Should
we save it for when we get to it?
I think we could get right into it.
Let's just get right into it.
I thought that was kind of like insane. It's So she only walks 5 steps and turns, which means she's not used to big open spaces. So
Yeah.
she's not an heiress to a coal empire.
Yeah, well, it tipped her off, but there were other things that helped like inform that. She was only able to make that statement confidently because of the stuff she knew about the bag. And I knew that that lady was had blood on her hands just because of when the shot where she takes mental note of the bag being a certain weight. I just assumed there was a gun in the bag, and that's why she like stares down at it when she holds it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Well, okay, I have more to say on this, but let's just try to get the last few things out of the way with just like introductory stuff before we get into like the first little mini arc. I'm trying to think. I do like she's not as tsundere as I expected her to be. Like obviously that is sort of her archetype for lack of a better term, but like I'm
Yeah.
glad she's not so obnoxious about it to where it takes her like 10 episodes to even start being a character that I could possibly like.
You're not a big tsundere guy,
Well,
Rufus.
I will say tsundere, like I was talking about earlier with the super ornate gothic dresses and all that stuff, it does fit the idea of like that super valuable protected thing. I don't know, maybe I'm just weird, but that's like the aesthetic to me. Um, Coveted, you know.
Yeah.
It's rich, important. Um, which
What
is
else do
cool.
we got introduction wise?
Let's see.
What do
Any
you
other
think about the world?
oh god.
What are we? What, like 1920 or something? What year are we?
1918. I don't remember. It's something. It's early 1900s for sure.
Old ass show.
Old ass show. I like it. I mean I really like the aesthetic. The soundtrack is something that I took like a particular note of it fitting the vibe and not being any problem, but I don't remember any tracks that particularly stuck out to me or were like overly endowed with personality.
Yeah.
But it really fit the vibe. I like the city.
It's no Danganronpa.
It's no Danganronpa.
We're not listening to some crazy techno music while we solve this mystery.
No, we're not. We're drinking in the details of the scenery. We're admiring the classic mystery setting at work, the Agatha Christie, but anime setting. That's very very nice. I don't know. What do you think about the setting? What do you think about the
I think,
library, the garden that she's in for some reason?
well, first of all, I don't think I mentioned this before, but the library is quite big.
I mean, you know, it's all relative.
And something, I don't know, maybe you haven't noticed this, but
Um,
Cujo,
okay.
uh, he, okay, bear with me here. A little
Oh,
bit of a game theory here,
okay.
but I think there might be a recurring element in this show regarding Cujo and his luck with elevators.
Yes.
You notice that too?
Yes. Yes.
First episode, he wasn't allowed to use the elevator because it was quote unquote reserved
Contract.
for
Yeah.
staff and Victory. And in the second episode, he almost died going down an elevator.
He did almost die, and I was trying to take note of who like warned him because I was like, oh, whoever warned him knew. But I guess it. Funnily enough, it did kind of turn out that every single person was guilty there.
I, I mean, yeah, I guess they actually all were,
Yeah.
but it kind of does make sense because she rounded. Well, that's also what I don't understand. The was it the coal heiress who rounded them all up, or was it the
Yes.
hunter?
It was the Cole heiress who rounded them all up.
Okay, then why was the hunter there?
The hunter was an actor. She rounded him up. He was like the most important actor.
Did she know he was the hunter?
Yes.
Why would she get the hunter?
What do you mean? Why would she get the hunter? She didn't actually kill him.
Because the hunter's gonna kill her and everyone else there.
Okay, what are you talking about right now?
Uh,
It was a farce.
but like, was she intended to die on that boat?
She was not intending to die on that boat. I don't think the hunter ever had any intention of actually killing her. Right? That is
I,
easily the most confusing part of the show so far. What she was
I
doing.
yeah, I don't know if I'm this is a little ape brain moment here, but
So a cut didn't just happen because we take professionalism really seriously here at TBZNMA's amazing podcast.
it was wonderful podcast.
Wonderful podcast. But yeah, on the subject of monkey brain stupid things that we didn't like, there was just a lot of ridiculousness. It's not that big of a deal because the anime is just a little silly at times. But
Yeah,
the gunshot thing, for one thing, that is the second time in a row, second time in like a week, I've seen an anime do a scene where it zooms in on the person, he's about to shoot the main character with a gun, and the finger's like about to pull the trigger, and then it flashes black and you hear a gunshot, and then the next shot it's like, oh, somebody else shot the guy who was about to shoot him. Like, that happens so much, and it's really starting to piss me off. But
now you
I digress.
really point that out. Not that actually is very common. I do see that a lot.
Not even just an anime, yeah.
And it really doesn't bother me that much, I guess, if I've never picked up on it.
Okay, once again, some of us are Victorique, some of us are for Cujo.
Yeah, okay. Well,
That's fine.
I think I'm more of a sword bird.
It's unfortunate. I feel as though there's some sort of an alternate reality in where we talked about Umi Neko in relation to this show, but sadly,
Well,
I just don't think we're living in it.
Well, I mean, it's a Bones mystery show. It's bound to have some connections to maybe the style of Umineko, but more of the everything is similar to Danganronpa if you really look closer to it.
Danganronpa,
But
I guess, bro. Come on now.
but some of us are Victory, some of us are Cujo. But
Exactly, and I'm glad you're finally coming to realize that. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
besides the point here, we're talking about things we don't like, other than
The tennis ball, the brass knuckles, all the stupid
those
stuff.
really are like the tennis ball. Is that even real? Like, can that even
There's
happen?
no way. Like, he
If
just
you-
assumed he fell
if
over.
you grip a tennis ball that hard, will your pulse stop in your arm?
Well, he is a professional actor. You know, whenever anyone tells you they're a professional actor in a mystery thing, you automatically know they're.
Actors stop their own pulse.
I get, and he
Is
just
that the
assumed there
thing?
was no way they would take the pulse from his neck, even though that probably makes more sense, because he's in like an awkward position. They'd want to flip him around, try to like
Well,
maybe.
I think he
gesture
wasn't
towards
trying to.
resuscitating him.
I don't know what he was trying to do, if I'm being honest, because Victory told Kuja to stand back because, I mean, like, she was afraid that like he was gonna strike. And why would he fake his own death right there if
He's
if
in
he
no
was just
position
gonna
to
reveal
strike.
himself? Yeah.
Yeah, that was really silly. and then
I guess for sorry for cutting off here, but I guess for like the flashback where he also pretended to be dead, but that makes sense because like everyone was alive and everyone didn't know who to trust. But there was literally only 3 people and 2 of them already knew each other.
yeah, and yeah, two of them already knew each other, and they were already sus that lady had a
Yeah.
strap on her for very obvious reasons. And then we have the disappearing brass knuckles.
Yeah, go on to the scene right after he played dead. Cujo dons a pair of some brass knuckles and absolutely dusts the killer, the hunter.
Yes.
And then the next scene, right after, when they're going to the telegraph booth, he just doesn't have them. Like, it worked the first time, and he knows he didn't kill him because he barred the door shut with the axe.
Yep.
Speaking
God,
of which, how did he... Wait, hold on. I'm just realizing this now. How did he get
He's
the
strong.
axe?
What do you mean? How did he get the axe? It was probably like there's weapons everywhere on this boat. Remember? They're under the carpets.
No. After he barred the door with the axe, how did he open the door and regain the axe?
Why? Why? If he opened the door, you saying he would have had to break the axe?
Well, I mean,
He's in on it. Maybe there's secret
yeah.
passages somewhere. Maybe.
Secret passages.
Maybe he
okay.
was just acting like there was an axe, but he's such a good actor.
acting
You
like
see.
there's an axe. Okay, I mean, any viewers here want to feature on this show? There's spots.
Yeah,
Just saying.
there's spots, and I don't know the Bone Zone. It does feel like we're living in some sort of dark timeline where we talked about this show for like 30 more minutes and then it got cut off and all of our zingers have been lost to time.
Uh, I just, it's Rufus. Seriously, dude. I think it's over.
You think
It might be over.
it might be over?
But speaking of over, that's something you might say once your, I don't know, maybe your internet privacy gets revealed by evil spyware hackers.
Evil spyware hackers.
I mean, you could get back your internet privacy today
Oh
on
my
every
god.
device you own in any
Nah.
country you want.
No, no, no. That reminded me of like the stupidest thing, the thing that pissed me off the most.
Well, I think it can wait.
Uh,
Don't let anyone but you control your internet. ExpressVPN restricts people who shouldn't see your internet activity wherever you go.
okay,
Blocked
so
in access in the US, simply connect to another country and get access to what you need. Find out now by hitting the link in the description how you can get your first 3 months free using code NMATBZWP. Thank you.
well put. Um, Thank you so much for that product for sponsoring us. We'll have to use it off stream. What was I saying? Yes, the most infuriating part of the entire thing. Do you remember when they are having the physical altercation on the boat deck outside the telegram booth, and the guy like he dusts him up, he drops him twice. He's beating the crap out of Cujo, the killer is, and then Cujo like gets really inspired and just magically gains superhuman strength and then pushes him over to the railing and almost beats him. That made me so mad.
I do remember that.
Just gets really inspired out of nowhere because he really wants to protect Victorique and be a strong Japanese man with a
Was there?
demure white
Did he
wife.
get a flashback, like a 1 second flashback of his brothers yelling at him?
Yeah, they were like, "You're not a good enough Japanese
like,
man."
It's just like that day where he was lying on the floor that we've seen like 3 times already.
Yeah, shades of AOT with the flashbacks, but
Oh God.
Jesus Christ.
I was honestly kind of hoping Kuja to be more of a Chad protagonist.
Yeah,
Like,
you know,
sure, he got
I
like
get
the
that.
super strength to fight back, but I would like honestly would be fine if he like absolutely just decimates everyone.
Yeah, but isn't that kind of? Oh yeah, I guess so. That would be kind of cool if he was like the bronze of the brawn of the operation.
Yeah, like
Well, yeah.
I don't want to say like if I wish he was actually like capable in a fight because he probably is, but hey, 3 episodes in, we don't know what he's capable
I mean,
of
how
yet.
old are
Truly,
these kids?
That's a
Like
that's a,
late
that's
middle
a,
school
that's a
or
good question.
sophomore year high school, which is freshman in
I
Japan.
think so.
Probably. Probably. I
But,
think so because they're like
like I was
noticeably
saying,
shorter than everyone else. Sorry. Go
They
on.
are a lot shorter actually. Like
Yeah.
he was the hunter I think was like twice the size
Yeah, it was
of Cujo.
comic, and he's like a head taller than Victorique.
Yeah. But I mean, oh great. Well, like I was saying before, someone cut me off. Don't know who. What was I saying? Oh, I really did like how he absolutely dusted the hunter in his first like little bout. Like I thought like that was going to be a trend. Like he was going to be actually pretty capable in
Uh-huh.
in a fight.
That's all.
Then he got his ass immediately beat, and I was like, okay.
But then he got
well.
inspired.
Then he had a flip, but like that does that really count? We see that so often in so many shows where
Happened in
just
Goblin Slayer.
it did happen in Goblin Slayer.
Another classic.
Or
yeah.
people like you get like that 1 second flashback of something we've already seen a lot of times. It's like, wait, I need to stand up for.
Do you remember
my
what it was in
friends.
Goblin Slayer?
What was it in Goblin Slayer?
Oh, it was that girl with the comically large bosom that was from his hometown. Remember?
Oh
No, wait, no,
yeah.
that was at the end. Yeah, it was. It was when he came back and his village was ransacked by goblins. Yeah, No, that
I need to fight for my friends.
I think the main problem with this show right now is that it's not Goblin Slayer. You know?
Is is that the main problem?
I think this show's okay. I say that in jest. All jokes aside, I think this show is already more enjoyable to me than Goblin Slayer was. I just, I like the main two. I like the dynamic, you know, and it makes me feel like a smart boy. There's a lot of stuff to like about this show. It's like aesthetically well done. It's paced very fast. Like there's always things happening, so it's hard to
So,
get bored.
a bit of a late fact. Just got the information from one of the producers
Hey,
here.
first podcast, worst
They're
podcast.
both, yeah, they're both 15, by the way.
Very useful information.
Just a little late information.
Yeah, that's around the same
you
age
guys
as
wanna
the
blame anyone,
Inklings.
blame the producer.
The Inklings from Splatoon are around that age.
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know. I mean, do you remember the last Splatfest?
Do I remember the last Splatfest? No, I don't think I remember the last Splatfest.
Well, if you remember correctly, the Splatfest in Splatoon 3 contain a special type
There's
of
a
game mode
third
known
one?
contain a special type of game mode known
Oh,
as
jeez.
the Tri Battle. 3, just as in the 3 characters that were introduced in the first episode of hit 2011 January season or 2011 January anime Gosick. There was Givel, the brother. There was Cujo, the Chad, or well, he's kind of a beta, I guess. And then there was Victorique, of course. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess Givel might just truly be mostly a comic relief type of deal right now. I mean, there's at least something to it. I know it's because she's what is she, like a bastard princess or something, and so she's not allowed to go outside.
Yeah, princess born from like
Wedlock.
an evil maiden. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So
that's why. But he's got something going on.
Lived in the dungeon, and now she's also just not allowed to leave.
Unless her older brother's getting blackmailed by Cujo.
Yeah.
Which like they'd believe that little snot-nosed brat. No, this other little snot-nosed brat did it, not the incredibly consummate detective that everybody loves and trusts and has been doing great things for years. Kind of cringe. Kind of cringe, but sorry, that was a little burp for those in the audience who may be confused. Let's see. I have a little like incredibly scattered thing of notes here of other stuff that I wanted to mention. Obviously,
I don't like how.
Okay.
You want me to go?
Yeah, you go.
I mean, I guess. Kind of don't like how, like, half of the people on the boat ended up dying. I thought, even though this was the first arc, I felt like we could have gotten a bit more out of them instead of a huge lore dump at the very end.
Yeah, I get that. That
How
makes
they
sense.
all jumped off the boat and they all died, except like one of them.
Yeah, that is true.
And then where they had to go from the top of the boat to the bottom of the boat to get across the deck when they were already on the deck.
Yeah, that was really confused. I was thinking about that. That was this show's not immune to inconsistencies and little silly things, but tell me if you disagree. I feel like it's silly in a way that you could predict. You know what I mean? Like it's silly in a way that like could make sense if you didn't think about it too hard. Like it doesn't totally ruin the mystery aspects for me.
Yeah.
What do you think about the pendant? Victorique's cherished pendant. Do you have any theories as to whom that may belong to? Perhaps a shadowy villain figure?
I think absolutely no. I don't think so.
You're
Not
stupid.
at all. How am I?
No, I don't think it belongs to him. I'm just stirring the pot, man.
Did I say it belongs to him?
You said it did not belong to him.
Yeah. I don't think it belonged to him.
Who do you think it belonged to?
I don't know. She got really mad
Really mad.
when he tried to help her
And then,
with it.
but then she asked him to later, showing
Yeah,
character growth so fast.
it shows that she has a cute and funny side.
She both has a cute side and a funny side,
Yeah.
as well as a genius side. Some would argue it's an Umineko side. Some would
Okay.
erroneously refer to it as a Danganronpa side. But that's sort of it. It's kind of
Danganronpa.
yeah, yeah. If you're using mystery visual novel terminology. There was something else that I wanted to mention about something about the aesthetic of this show. If I could find it.
Do you think the hunter's still alive?
Yes.
Do you think he'll come back? Do you think he survived that axe to the back and jump off the boat?
He smiled when he jumped off, so I mean he has
He
to,
did.
right? I mean like he could.
Viewers, right here. Remember this moment when
It's
you
made of
guys
clay.
go watch the next couple episodes and come back to us when you're done with that. If he makes a return, I told you so. I
predicted it.
told Rufus so.
But isn't that like the type of thing that this is like the type of thing that I meant? I feel like it could be something really stupid, like it was a fake weapon or something, and like the show.
And he was such a good actor.
Yeah, like it would be
jumping
silly, but like I could still like predict it, you know?
Yeah, well, it's the nature of the show.
It is, yeah, it is. It's because it is first and foremost, weirdly enough, a mystery, and the marrying of the mystery and romance genres is truly an interesting one. Some would say it's an Umineko thing, but it's great to see. Of course, with her being like a sort of a tsundere as well. As he starts getting to know her, it's sort of like a unlocking a mystery. I mean, I can't think of a less cringy way to say that, but there's definitely.
Well, I mean,
a parallel
yeah, because there's definitely a
structure.
mystery that she's hiding that we don't know about.
Yes.
And to start off with that silly little like silly mystery shows, this it's kind of like Ungo. Don't want to go too much in detail about Ungo, but the dynamics are swapped. You got the dude who's the detective, and then the little ragtag bundle of joy, Inga, who's a boy. Editor,
okay, there we
show
go.
the boy.
Yep, there we go. I was hoping you wouldn't omit that.
Well, someone had to say it.
Well, someone had to say it.
Took me like half the series to realize that was a boy. By the way, not too proud.
If this video gets 5
journey
likes, we'll do an Ungo podcast.
I'd be down for an Ungo podcast. It's a really good show.
I'd probably be down. I'd be down for an Ungo podcast too. And you know what? Some haters out there. I don't know how they still exist among the Rufuses, but some
There's
people may
still
say.
haters?
I know. I was shocked. I thought after I got to 600 subscribers they'd shut up, but I guess they never do. They only get stronger. They might say like, "Oh wow, this is really. Why was there a giant cut in the middle? This is like so thrown together and like slapdash." It's like
was a giant. Okay.
Oh, sorry. No, I thought.
Sorry. Are we just making up stuff to hate about?
I thought we were talking. Sorry, I thought we switched the subject to like super low V-neck cut tees. Did I lose you? Did I lose you, Benson?
I'm ignoring you. Do you think there's gonna be like a time skip, age skip? Do you think they're gonna be old? They're gonna get older?
No way. No way. I mean, maybe if there is one, it'll be literally in the literal last episode.
Oh, I mean, yeah. That's kind of what I'm getting to. Oh, wait. Now that I think, yeah.
If they get married, yeah, it'll probably
the
be.
show like 32 or something.
Actually, no. Low-key, they'd probably get married as they are. I don't know why. It just seems like the type of show where they'd get married like out of high school, like not even out of high school, in high school. Like, don't you just feel like that's the vibe?
I kind of do get that vibe.
I like it. I like it. I like the romance aspect. I really do think it's going somewhere. I'm excited to see how it like sort of interplays with the mystery. I hope there's like some cool stuff with like the mysteries like paralleling like the dynamic and stuff like that. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just wishing upon
I
a star
thought I
here.
kind of liked it how the first mystery roped into the second one. I thought that was really neat.
That was neat. That
How
was.
just it being the first mystery, just like to test the waters to see her potential and like show the viewer like this girl does not mess around, and
Yeah.
how it all eventually tied in from like the letter in the yacht that we
Mm.
probably would have everyone would have missed
Mhm.
if it was anyone other than her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Everyone.
do you think it would have gone differently if she brought her chair?
I forgot about that scene. For those of you in the audience who don't know, there is an absolute dynamite visual gag where Victor Reek, character known for traditionally being hyper rational, super intelligent, calculating, she packs a comically large amount of baggage to go on their trip.
And then while Cujo's going through said baggage, he picks up the chair and asks, "What are you, a refugee?"
I forgot about that. This show is actually really funny when it's trying to be. I'm gonna give the dub a shot for sure.
The dub is good. I'm a sucker for a good dub. I know when the dub's not. I know
Up to
when the
par.
dub's not good. Yeah,
I
up to
do get
par. Like,
nervous.
I dip out of there immediately.
Here, my main concern with dubs in general wouldn't really apply to this show because I think a lot of times the main voice actors for dubs are all right. It's when you get to the side cast that it just falls off a cliff. And they're just getting anyone they can find. But for this type of show, the side cast dub being like kind of funny bad for like these expendable murdered characters type of
Yeah.
thing is kind of enhances the experience if anything.
My one shtick with the dub
Ooh.
is, and this is like a completely personal shtick that I don't like, is the older brother that voices the voice of the older brother, Cujo's older brother, is the what even is it? He's like a trope in every other like show I've seen where he's like the stupid pervert best friend.
And it's the guy yelling at him to be a better Japanese man.
Yeah, and
Oh my
I
god.
literally couldn't take him seriously because that's immediately what I think of.
Oh, okay, yeah, that is kind of funny. That is funny. I'll give it to you. Um,
But
yeah, Jesus
also, like,
Christ.
if we're gonna get on the topic of dubs, like, I think like the voice actors I'm fine with in
Mhm.
dubs, but one thing I just hate are the translations sometimes. It
Yes,
absolutely ruin it.
I get that. I mean, I understand why that there has to be translations from sub to dub because things can sound like even more awkward and stilted than they have to be if you're doing it literally. But it's a horrible. I feel like it might be a necessary evil, but it's a damn evil.
Yeah, like when I hear my dubbed voice actors referring to other characters as Peter Chan and Peter Senpai, like that's a like no, that's a big no.
Yeah,
Like
that's a turn
that
off.
won't be happening.
Yeah, Peter Chan and Peter Senpai. Do you
Seriously,
do
what
you
are we doing?
do you believe Shokata era Peter ties into this whole story?
What did you just say to me?
Do you believe Shokata era Peter ties into this whole story? Shokata era Peter. Do you not know who that is?
No,
Oh my god, we have a
Shokata
nobody
era Peter.
actively looking for people in the comments section to fill the co-host slot. Actively.
Shokata era Peter.
You won't find it online. Not on the surface web.
Well, I'm not finding. I'm repeating to myself. Like these are just like words to me.
Shokata
Is
era Peter.
Shokata an era?
No.
Okay.
It's Family Guy. It doesn't. Whatever. I'd assume you'd be more up to snuff on the Family Guy knowledge, but
I've
that's
seen every Family Guy episode twice.
no. I
No,
do
this
believe
is
you. I
serious.
do
This is
believe you.
real.
I do believe you. Yeah, including and then there were fewer. Wait, have you seen even the new ones twice? Because those are like ass. What?
I've seen like all the good ones, and then when yeah, like the new ones, like I watch once. Like I don't need to rewatch it. Like just watch
Hmm.
them. Like yeah, they kind of fell off.
Oh, whoa! They mega fell off.
And yeah, I
Ooh.
did see, and then there were fewer. Season 9, episode 1, by the way.
Yeah, and that's another Family Guy thing that kind of inspired this, I think. And then
You
there were
could tie
fewer.
you could tie Family Guy into pretty much everything. Family
Uh,
Guy's done it all.
Family Guy really has, and I mean, I feel like having an entire podcast dedicated to the first three episodes of Ghostic really makes us lose track of, what Family Guy has to do with all this. You know,
What?
I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like Family Guy's too easily forgotten among the anime community, and
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Family Guy definitely plays a like probably a universal role on just anime as a medium. See, medium, not a genre.
well, it's a little bit more complicated than that, but yeah.
Okay, but if you've existed as a human for a long enough time,
Because
you
you
know
know,
there's a
if
difference.
we were if we were to refer to it as a medium, it would surely encompass Family Guy, would it not? The medium of animation, the genre of anime.
Well, I thought the medium
The
of
medium
anime
can't
was
be anime. The medium is like prose is a medium, or like video is a medium. Like you can't. Like, I don't know. It's like a
but
flavor.
it's not a genre though.
It's not a genre. It's so ill defined. I mean,
It's between genre and medium. So we're
it,
both wrong.
yeah. So we're both wrong. We're both wrong. Yeah. I can live with that. I can live with that.
But like I'm more right though. Like I'm more leaning towards the being correct side.
I'll let you have that one, little bro. I'll be the bigger man and let you have that one. Uh,
Be the bigger man. Okay, whatever.
but yeah. Some of us are Victor Reeks. Some of us are what's his name? Givel. I think you might be Givel. And like
Is his
Givel's
name Givel? I'm glad you remembered his name because
it probably is
I'm
not
gonna refer to
Givel.
him
It
as
might be
Swordbird.
Gavel or Gavil or something. It's you know what?
He's Swordbird.
I'm gonna channel my I'm gonna channel my radical professionalism and look it up on my phone real quick.
His name?
If it's some stupid shit, bro.
It's
Okay.
Graville.
Greville. It's
G R
Greville.
Gr Latin Evil.
That's funny. Okay. Okay, well, Griville. Griville,
Graville.
whatever. I
I
think
think it's Graville.
I think, we may have lost a couple of things in that bizarre like domain expansion that happened in the middle of this video, or maybe didn't happen, I can't really tell. Um but I think that about wraps it up before we just sort of like keep like sprawling off topic, in terms of like what we have to say about the first few episodes of Ghostic. Do you have any other things you'd want to add?
I mean, regarding the first 3 episodes, I don't think so. I think we covered the little mini arc pretty well.
Yeah, a lot of stupid stuff happens in that mini arc, but you know
But
what?
it's a
It's a lot of
stupid,
fun.
silly show,
It's a stupid, silly show.
and it's not intended for people to sit around for an hour and nitpick it after what? How old is the show? Like
12
12,
years.
13 odd years.
Oh yeah, it's pretty much 13 years at this point.
13 years later, just to nitpick it.
Almost on the dot. Yeah, wow.
Almost on
Tomorrow,
that.
tomorrow will be the 13-year anniversary of Ghostic.
Wow.
We'll have to finish the show and then release a mega podcast tomorrow then in celebration.
Oh yeah, we could finish all 21 other episodes.
Yeah, it's just okay. I don't want to be the guy to say it, but yeah, I mean, that was a legendary podcast. Um,
It was wonderful. I
it was
used wonderful.
it was wonderful.
It's wonderful in our NordVPN code, ExpressVPN code. NordVPN's Exos. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, ignore what he just said. That was ridiculous.
Well, what did we learn today, Rufus?
We learned. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. I'll be straight up. This is the worst podcast I've ever come into contact with, but I think we have potential here. You know, I think we really have potential here. I think there was a lot of good here. I think there was a
I
lot of awesome.
I think if we learned anything from this podcast, it's that staying safe online is an ever-growing difficulty, and you could be exploited by hackers and I don't know, evil people on the internet. But ExpressVPN allows you to change your IP address, making it harder to track, securing your privacy. Check the link in the description, get 20% off and first 3 months free using our code TBZNMAWP. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a great day.